Hello everyone, it's me Serge here, back with yet another video, and today we're going to be going over my top 25 favorite LEGO sets of all time. Now, this is an extensive list that I've been pondering over for the past year or so, so I've had quite a bit of time to refine it. So yeah, let's get into it. But first, some honorable mentions. Right, well now that we're done, let's get on with the list. My 25th favorite LEGO set of all time is the Ninjago C Chase set from the 2017 line of the LEGO Ninjago movie sets. The theme itself is actually quite remarkable. I mean, it's not every so often that you get a theme that delivers so much on detail and just overall value. And for 25 Canadian dollars, this is great value. You get a nice little market stall with some nice details and some nice building techniques, as well as a couple of nice prints and stickers, and the figures themselves are actually pretty good. For $25, you get 5 figures, which is not unheard of, but it is definitely something quite nice to get, and they are actually quite detailed, like the rest of the set. You know what this reminds me of? The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings sets, because those are actually also sets which had great value and a great amount of detail packed into them for a pretty great price. So that's why I like it so much. I also associate it with a lot of good memories, but overall, that is why it's my 25th favorite set of all time. My 24th favorite set of all time is the 2015 Toy and Grocery set from LEGO Creator. This mini modular line of sets from Creator is definitely one of the best ideas I've ever seen from any LEGO theme overall, because as we all know, the LEGO Creator Expert modulars are some fantastic sets, with the only hurdle that prevents many from getting them is the massive price they have. I mean, upwards of $200 for something as huge as that. I mean, it's fair, but it's just not that accessible. So, Creator 3-in-1 took it into their own hands to create their own line of more affordable mini modulars, and this is one of them. Again, this is a set that I associate with good memories, as when I used to have a city, I used to use this a lot alongside two other sets on this list that I'm going to mention later on. It's a great valued set, but it's also one with a pretty good amount of stuff packed in. I mean, only 2 figures, which is, typical of a creator set, but also a nice interior and also an exterior that can fold out and fold in, and it still looks good. And the side builds are also pretty good. Don't ask me about those. I never build those. But yeah, that is why it's my 24th favorite set of all time. I just really like it that much. Number 23 on my list of my favorite sets of all time is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shellraiser Street Chase. This is definitely a set that I oddly enough wanted a lot back around the time of its release, and it truly did deliver. I mean, I don't remember much from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme itself, but I do remember getting this set because I got it around August, mid-August, about the same time that I'm recording and releasing this video. But it's really quite an amazing set. It's one of the biggest that I do own, and the builds and the figures are all equally great. I mean, to be honest, I prefer the builds a little bit because they do have quite a big amount of play features jammed in, like the retractable tires, the train wheels, all of the computer hijinks and the whole thing inside, as well as the pizza van, which does conceal some enemy figures. I mean, it's just really that amazing of a set, and the fact that they based it off of like a real New York City subway, you know, unit, it really does make it that much cooler since I've actually been to New York and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, the actual build itself is bulky and it's big and it's got a lot of things packed in. And again, it's a set that I associate with some good memories because I used to play with that all the time. So yeah, that's why it's one of my favorite sets of all time. My 22nd favorite set of all time is Hagrid's Hut Buckbeak's Rescue from the 2019 line of LEGO Harry Potter sets. This was a set that I got for my birthday, and while I did not have enough time to build and associate memories from it, it is definitely a set that I think is pretty cool and does have quite a lot of substance to it. Possibly the best Hagrid's Hut set of all time, even rivaling the 2010 one. I just think it does have quite a bit of detail. I think the foliage and everything is quite great, and the inclusion of Buckbeak just makes this all the more better. The figures are quite great with the casual versions of Harry, Ron, and Hermione, as well as Hagrid, Cornelius Fudge, and the Executioner, which are all great figures in their own right. But the build itself, while it's not a closed interior like the other versions of this hut, it is definitely still like pretty good. The interior might be the best one apart from the 2011 one, 2010, 2011 one, whatever. As it does have quite a bit of cool details, including a light up chimney that works by pressing the actual like chimney tip from the roof. And it is probably the most accurate version of this hut, given its shape and the addition of the extra little hut at the side, which also does include quite a few things like a Daily Prophet and a chocolate frog. So overall, I'd say this is a very well-rounded out set, and definitely one that any Lego Harry Potter fan should own, despite it retiring later this year in December 2021. So yeah, it is one of my favorite sets of all time, and this was why. My 21st favorite LEGO set of all time is the Mobile Command Center from the LEGO City line. Now, this was probably a 2008 set. I can't really put my finger on it, but this is probably like one of the most surprising additions on this list. Because you think, well, this just doesn't look that good. Well, to be honest, the occasion in which I got it was actually a pretty much of a treasure trove of a moment for me as a Lego collector, as I got it along like 5 other sets for $40, and I mean that's a pretty good deal considering everything this set has. I have the 2011 version as well, but this just feels so much more complete. The interior is pretty great. It has a retractable prison cell, which the other one does have a prison cell granted. But yeah, this has a retractable prison cell, which just makes it all the more cool. And it also has an inclusion that may be kind of small, but I feel like it just makes this miles better than the 2011 version, despite its more smooth shaping, and that is the fact that it has an actual extra police station build added to it. I mean, it's just really cool, and again, related to the toy and grocery entry from earlier on, I actually used that in my small Lego city from like 5 years ago. So yeah, it does have some good memories associated to it, and it is quite a fun set to play with. There's lots of things to do with it, and quite a few figures to use. So yeah, that's why I love it so much. My 20th favorite set of all time is the 2020 501st Legion Clone Troopers set. Uh, I mean, if you know how this set came about, you would know that this is practically a legendary set by LEGO standards. I mean, this was a campaign started by a bunch of LEGO content creators back in 2018, early 2018, which demanded essentially the creation of a 501st Legion Clone Trooper battle pack. And this continued on and on and on, and there was a lot of campaigning, a lot of spamming, and eventually in April 2020, April 2nd specifically, we finally got the first images for this set, and this pretty much just broke the LEGO community. It was just like something huge and something quite unexpected. I don't think people really expected LEGO to put out a 501st Battle Pack given the amount of controversial figures that actually supported it. I'm looking at you, Ryan. So this was definitely a great set to have, and when I finally got it last year on Christmas, I was not disappointed. The builds are actually quite substantial, despite their size being inaccurate, but the important part is the figures, and those definitely look better in person than on the pictures. So it is definitely a set that has quite a bit of a legend status in the LEGO community, and it is a set that I quite like, as it definitely helped increase the amount of clones in my clone army. So it's a set that I appreciate, despite all the trouble that we've had to go through it. So yeah, that's why it's my 20th favorite set of all time. My 19th favorite set of all time is the LEGO Ninjago Golden Dragon set from 2013. This is the original model. This is the true OG. This is a really remarkably great set for the value it has. I mean, like, I think it was like $30-40 around the time of its release, but it included so much. It included like a really cool Golden Dragon build. I mean, at least a bit more substantial than the Legacy one from a couple of years ago. But it also included a really nice side build and some absolutely fantastic figures. I mean, that golden Ninja Lloyd, untouchable. No way it can be beat. It's just the best one. I'm sorry, Legacy version, but you've clearly been beaten by the 2013 version. There's also the Stone Warriors that are also pretty nice, especially the one with the samurai helmet. That was actually pretty nice. And overall, just the set itself for like such low a price, this was fantastic value. And I remember I got this one year, and then the next I got the Mech Dragon, and I used to fuse the two together and have like my own ninja battles and stuff. So it's definitely some good memories in that way. But overall, I just think it's a fantastic set, and that's why it's my 19th favorite. My 18th favorite LEGO set of all time is the 2013 ATRT set from the LEGO Star Wars line of sets. This was one of the last years of the original, if you will, line of Clone Wars sets, so this is definitely a set from like what I think is the golden age of LEGO. It's really that time when they started making all these Clone Wars sets, and if you know me, you'll know that I love the Clone Wars. So this is definitely a set that I've wanted, well, that I love, that I actually love a lot. I got two of them actually. One of them was on accident, but I'm not complaining because that one 501st figure is worth like $20 each. So it doesn't only have like monetary value, like a lot of monetary value, but it is also a great set. I mean, the build for the ATRT might be one of, if not the best. Like, it's just a really well-rounded out build that it just feels sturdy. It feels, you know, like a solid build, despite it not being accurate in terms of scale. I mean, I still think it's a pretty damn solid set, and definitely one that I love a lot. And the figure selection as well is actually pretty good. So yeah, that's why it's my 18th favorite set of all time. Number 17 on my top 25 favorite sets of all time is the LEGO Ninjago Keeper's Village set from 2021. This is one of the more recent additions to this list, but it is still a set I think is worth adding. I've only gotten this set about a month ago, and I just love it. I mean, it's full of so many cool play features, especially in that one little forest area with all the booby traps and such. And you also have a pretty exceptionally good amount of detail, and there was really a lot of attention put into this set, you can tell. And it's only the second most expensive set of that Season 14 wave, so it's not too much of a splurge, as it is only like $60-70 here in Canada. So yeah, not too expensive, but it's a fantastic value nonetheless. The figures are just amazing with an exclusive coal, which just makes the set that much better, and the build itself is just really remarkable, and I couldn't be happier to have it. I'm actually looking at it right now in my display shelves as I'm recording this video, and I just can't help but think how cool that set is. So yeah, that's why I like it so much. Number 16 on my list is Tiger Widow Island. This is a 2016 set from the little Lego Ninjago Skybound line, and this is, I don't know if it's because of nostalgia reasons, but it's a similar set to the Keeper's Village, and it has a little less in it, you could say, but I still personally love it more than that particular set. I don't know. There's a lot going on in that set, but I'm definitely not one to complain, as I absolutely love it. The main temple build itself is actually pretty decent, despite its seemingly small size. The interior is actually pretty great, and the cave part is just so cool. I used to play with that all the time when I still had it built. Unfortunately, it's not anymore. Rest in peace. And then you have like some other great features, like the palm tree falling down. That was really cool. There's also, I believe, I don't remember the name of the big fig anymore, but that is, I think, to this day, my only big fig. At least it'll be my only big fig until I eventually get that new Thanos from this summer wave of Marvel sets. But yeah, it's just really cool, and the figure is also pretty good as well. You get Ghost Cole in a Skyman outfit, which I didn't have a Ghost Cole up until that moment. I just remember like me sharpieing my heads just green because I wanted to get Ghost Cole, but I couldn't because I didn't have like the money and I didn't ask for the possession sets. So it has some really good memories associated to it, and overall, I mean, it's just like a really good set, and definitely not a set that I'd expect from Ninjago, but one that I really love nonetheless. Number 15 on the list is the Lego Batman Riddler chase set from 2014. This is, again, one that I associate with good memories. I mean, I think this is one of my first DC sets that I've ever gotten. I don't know, I don't have many superhero sets, mostly because of a lack of interest. Whatever. But overall, this set just really surprised me by how good it is. The Riddler car, I mean, it's small, but it's good. But the real highlight of the set is that really good Batmobile. It's a bit scaled down compared to previous versions, but it is definitely still a bulky and really well done model. I mean, the shaping on that is just absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot get enough of that. And the play features as well. The concealed missiles in the back are just something that I used to play with all the time. Like, you'd never see me stop playing with that. And the figures in the set, while only three of them, they're still fantastic. I mean, you get a really cool Riddler, which I'm not sure is exclusive, but definitely one of the better ones. You get a pretty damn cool Batman, but most importantly, our first ever official Lego Flash, which is really also one of the highlights of the set, and one of the reasons why I love it so much. I mean, it's kind of a flex to say you have the first Lego Flash. I mean, it is a cool figure. It's just that the helmet is the rubber helmet is kind of eh. But overall, I mean, this is just such a cool set, and I definitely do associate it with like a lot of childhood memories of just me playing around with it and making up my own battles and stuff. I mean, and it also has a little comic book like every single other DC set. So this is definitely a set that has a lot of value for its price, and I just love it that much. At 14th place on the list is the Log Cabin set from 2011 from the Creator 3-in-1 theme. This set is not like a super well-known set, I'd say, but it is definitely one that is quite a milestone, if you will, in the Creator set, as it is the first one in the theme to actually include a figure. But whatever, the figure is just like these standard four pieces, whatever. What really stands out is the build, and to be honest, all the builds are equally great because I built them all when I was a kid, and I mean, they're just really cool, and it's my first Creator set as well. So that's a really good introduction to the theme, I'd say. I mean, I was just really quite blown away by everything there was. The attention to detail on like the walls and the way the logs popped out and the way the roof was designed with all the horns, the chimney, the opening back, which sort of open up dollhouse style, which was a really appreciated touch. And the other builds as well, I mean, they just reflect so many kinds of architecture, so many kinds of, you know, sort of decorations, sort of different styles of buildings. So it's definitely an appreciated set in that sense, but the main build itself is really like the highlight of it. It's just a simple log cabin, yet it just gets pulled off so elegantly. I mean, with all the little details like the trees, the campfires, the bushing, the small water, body of water at the sides with the canoe, the brick built canoe, which is also an appreciated touch. But it's just really good, and it reminds me of so many things that I used to do with Lego as a kid. Number 13 on the list is the Clone Troopers Battle Pack from the 2011 line of Star Wars sets. Again, another Clone Wars set, but I love them, so yeah. This is honestly like, I think I've said this in a video before, but it's probably my favorite battle pack of all time. I mean, it's got such a great figure selection. It's got like 3 niche figures and one that can be used in many other situations, but like, even the niche figures are really cool. Like that clone commander from the, I don't remember what the name of the Jedi was. I think Koth, his company, whatever, the Horn Company, I believe. It's just really cool. I mean, it's look at all the the green markings on it. It's just really that cool, and I just love it so much. I mean, I also love the Bomb Squad Troopers, although they're probably my least favorite of the bunch, and the ARF Troopers, just chef's kiss, just absolutely one of the coolest Star Wars figures. Straight up, that helmet mold's been used like 3 times, I believe, at most, and it's just like such a dope figure. I mean, I love it. I don't think there's really. I think there's a couple ways that you could improve it in the modern setting, but just that helmet mold is so cool. And compared to certain other sets, actually, that battle pack build is pretty damn useful. Like that's a standard bark speeder build from back in the day. It was used in other sets as well. So this is definitely a great set for army builders. It's just really cool. I wish they would have included like a clone gunner, or maybe like a regular or more specialized clone in there. It would that would have probably improved this set just a little bit, just pushed it over the edge there. But it's still just a fantastic set, and again, nostalgia bait. Can't argue with that. Number 12 on the list is the LEGO Sadie Roberts Hideout from 2012. This was part of the Forest Police line of sets, and this was, I believe, a Toys R Us exclusive back in the day when it was available. And I think it was 50 bucks, $60, and even for 60, I think you get quite a fair amount of stuff in there. I mean, you get a police truck, a robber car with like that sleek sort of vintage style that you don't get much anymore, so that's appreciated. But the highlight of the set is, of course, the bear. Just kidding. The bear is a cool mold and all, but we all know that the main highlight of the set is the actual robber's hideout itself. And even though it doesn't have like that much in it, like the interior is like kind of bleak, and I mean like the decoration is essentially like a tree and like some rocks and a lamp. That's it. But it is still a pretty cool set, and I used it quite a lot when I used to do like backdrops or like city builds and all that jazz, because it really does make for like a great building to put next to others. It definitely does have like that wood forest-ish feel to it, as well as like just it makes for a great base as well, because you can pack a lot of stuff in there. It's just a 16 by 16 build, but there is definitely enough space in there to put in a substantial amount of stuff, like a couple figures, a couple of cars, a couple of builds in there. You definitely could use this set for a lot of purposes, and that's exactly what I did. So again, nostalgia plays an important part in this, but I just think it's really a cool set, and I hope that LEGO does these kinds of sets more alongside civilian sets, because let's be honest, we all need some of those. At number 11, we have the 2014 LEGO Ninjago Thunder Raider. This, I don't have the Legacy version, so it definitely doesn't count for this particular list, since in order to make it, I have to have it complete, and it has to be in my collection. So, unfortunately, the Legacy set doesn't make the list. Well, of course, I don't have it, but the actual set it was based off of is just fantastic. I wanted this for so long, almost as much as another set in this list. It just it just delivered so much. I mean, the play features on this are just really phenomenal. I mean, you get a really just absolutely insane like J vehicle with all the treads and the wheels and stuff, and just all these cool play features and those missiles that deploy and fold out. Just that was the coolest thing ever. And even cooler is the Cole mech, which first off, this set includes Cole. Cole is my favorite ninja, so this is definitely like an important part. But it also just attaches to the back of the Thunder Raider, and it just creates this like huge, like sort of like big weapon, ninja weapon mech slash vehicle slash tread sort of type thing, and that was just so cool. I mean, the Ninjroid side build was just like a turret with like a chainsaw on it, I believe. I don't know. It had also the J Technoblade, which is probably my least favorite of them color-wise, but still pretty neat. And I mean, the set as a whole is just great value. And I remember I got it like early 2015, early 2014. I don't remember that much, but it's just such a cool set, and I hold so many memories from it because this was from like that time when I was absolutely in love with like Lego Ninjago from like 2014 to 2016, even a bit earlier than that actually. And it brings back so many good memories of that time and just playing with all my sets. It's just a really cool set, and it brings back a lot of memories for me, and that's why I love it so much. Cracking the top 10 is the 2021 Bad Batch Attack Shell set from LEGO Star Wars. This is a set that I've actually gotten really recently, like 2 weeks ago, as of the time of publishing this video, and even then it's just made such a mark, which is why I think it's so remarkable that this set is on the top 10. It's my biggest set of all time, piece-wise. I mean, it's not even 1,000 pieces, but it's still my biggest one. And for $140, you get a lot. I mean, let's just start off with the side builds. Side builds are my least favorite part of the set, but they're still so cool. At least the Lime Speeder is. But let's go on to the figures. The figures, top notch. Lego really put all their work into this. I mean, they came out with like a new mold for this 2021 Star Wars wave for like the armor on Wrecker, the Paz Vizsla figure, as well as the Dark Trooper, and it just works so well. And the amount of like recolors, remolds, and this new mold for the tech helmet is just fantastic. It's absolutely incredible, and the shuttle itself is just beautiful. It's the stuff of dreams for any Lego Star Wars fan. It's a beautifully built ship, beautiful looking ship. It definitely looks way better in person than on the pictures, and it just feels so great. I mean, it's a set that delivers on a lot of levels, and it's a show that I love as well. Many people don't like it, but I don't know why, but I love it. I mean, I just love the sort of story you have going on, where there's some like relatively minor characters, and just this set is, even if this is the only Bad Batch set they ever make, which I doubt because of Omega and stuff, I still think this is like fantastic set, and I just love it so much. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I finally have it, and it's just like such an amazing set, and it definitely is worth it. So if you're ever looking for a new Star Wars set to pick up, I recommend that one 100%. It's pricey, but it's worth every penny in my opinion, and that's why I love it so much. It's just really that good. At number 9 is the Lego Star Wars Coruscant Police Gunship from the 2014 wave of Star Wars sets. This was one of the last two traditional Clone Wars sets, if you will, so it just makes it all the more special, and I got this on my birthday, making it even more special. And it's just the set that I was probably the proudest of at that moment because it's like a really good ship build. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic ship build, but the highlights of the set are the figures. You get exclusive Coruscant shock troopers. You get exclusive, not exclusive, but you also get like these Anakin and Ahsoka figures, which I didn't have any of those characters before. So the figures in the set are just top notch. They're only four, but I love them to death. I mean, you cannot believe how much I love those. I still keep them like tucked away because I don't want to damage them. I mean, the Anakin figure is in pieces, but it's used in another Anakin figure, so don't be alarmed. It's gonna be in good state once I get all the pieces in my bins. But those shock troopers and that Ahsoka are still built together in one piece because I just love them so much. And the ship itself, like, oh my god, it impressed me so much when I was a kid. I mean, just the mechanism of the cockpit opening up and all the cool interiors and all the missiles and all the shapes and everything. Just fantastic. Fantastic. And I could not have asked for a better set. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. I'm so glad that I finally got this. Well, that I got this set before it retired in like 2015. So it's definitely fantastic set. Even by today's standards, I think it would sell very well, even with the same figures. It's just really that good, and I just love it so much. At number 8 is the LEGO Ninjago Nindroid Mech Dragon. Holy cow, this set is amazing. First of all, it's huge. It's not my biggest set piece-wise, but oh my god, the size in real life of that, it's a beast. It is an absolute beast. And I just love every single inch of it. Even the side build. The side build is just freaking awesome. I mean, it's a small car, but it's got so much stuff in it, like these missiles that flip up and just like shoot out at the dragon, and you got this turret on top with like a flag and stuff. And the cockpit of the car is also pretty good as well. But whatever. The figures in the set are fantastic. You get Garmadon. Well, not well. You get Sensei Garmadon. You get Nindroid Wu. You get Lloyd. You get like General Cryptor, and I think a regular Nindroid. I just think it's a really fantastic selection. Even if it's only like 5 figures for like $110, it's still really good. And that set is one of my biggest, one of the most most expensive ones I have, like price-wise. Still, it's fantastic. It's just really, 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 really good. The dragon build itself has so much stuff built in. It has a literal prison cell. The back doesn't have as much as the front, which has the whole command post and stuff, and the mouth, and the missile and everything. But the back still does have like a really neat wagging tail, and these deployable like sort of flight craft things for the Nindroids. And you also have a lot of things like the cool brick built like dragon head, which a lot of people complain about, but I don't really see too many issues with it because it looks pretty damn good, and it's a big bulky model, and it just looks so good, and it's a huge model, but it feels like really good to have it in hand and just like swoosh it around and stuff, and just play with the set as a whole. It's fantastic, incredible. Could not have asked for a better Mega Dragon if I could. It's fantastic, and it has a lot of good memories associated to it, and I wouldn't change a thing. I love it to death, and I always will. At number 7 is Lord Business's Evil Lair from the LEGO Movie line of sets back in 2014. this is one of the bigger sets from that wave, but it's even then, it's everything that a Lego set should be: fun, original, and full of just like these vibrant and just absolutely gobsmackingly amazing builds. It's fantastic. It's just incredible. I mean, the value you get for it is just amazing. Like, you get this big Lord business figures, like the huge robot legs and everything. That's really cool. The headdress as well, with the coffee mugs and everything. Really good, just fantastic. And the rest of the figures as well. You get the exclusive uh, Ma Cop and Pa Cop figures, I believe. Those are exclusive to the set. So is Business Kitty. Uh, Vitruvius, I believe, is also exclusive to that set, at least in that variant. You also get the Wrestler, and I believe that's it, apart from Emmett, which Emmett, really good figure as well. I mean, that's my first and only Emmett, so I can't really say much about that. But the build itself, oh my god. First, we have the Honey, Where Are My Pants set, which is simple, but it's just so cute with like the couch side build and the camera side build and everything is just so cool. And the way that they actually like built the sort of set itself with the lights and stuff is just really ingenious as well. The other parts as well, you have the sort of places where they put the master builders in the small chambers and shock them. You have a small like office where you have a business meeting, and this really well made side build with like the chairs and the table and all these cool like trans red colors and this black and this like stickered like sales report thingy, whatever. There's also these like gates which are attached to a mechanism that pushes out one of the things that eject the Craggle. And actually, cool fact, the Mock-Up and Pock-Up figures come with like these little like stands from the Toy Story Army Man, but in transparent. So that sort of imitates the Craggle. So that's a really neat touch. There's also the actual Craggle vial itself, but and yeah, the Craggle machine is just really cool. And even better, you have the actual like window that Emma jumps out of into the magic portal, with an actual built-in trapdoor to eject the figure. It also has the brick build battery and everything. It's just, this set is just so full of details and so full of cool references to the movie. I mean, there's too many to count. The only thing that could make this better would be like the inclusion of either Superman, Benny, or Wildstyle. But even then, the set itself is just fantastic. You can't ask for anything better, in my opinion. At number 6, we have the Mine set from the 2012 wave of Lego City, well, Mine sets. This was the flagship set of the wave, and oh god, what a set. Um, Still one of my biggest parts-wise, but it's just, it's a set that has a lot packed into it, like all these like 16 by 16, 8 by 16 plates that just build up the base of this huge like sort of mountainous sort of build, but it has so much in it. You have all these vehicles to drill in and to transport what was extracted in the mine. You have this sort of like conveyor belt that dumps into the truck. You have an entrance into like a small office area with like some safekeeping, like a big bolted gate. In the outside, you have a like sort of, not a gate, but like a sort of wall that's on like not hinges, but like these Technic pins that are loose. So when you push it with like one of the drilling vehicles, it opens up and it lets you like acts as the mine sort of, which is really cool. You also have like an actual sort of railway system, which I used to play a lot with. Like that was like the coolest thing ever to me because I never had any rails or any rail related sets, so that was nice. And you also have this like little crane to pick up sort of like what's extracted in the mine again. It's just a set with so many cool details, and the figures themselves, I mean, they're not outstanding, but they're still like just really cool. I love them so much. I mean, there's just really nothing that's inherently bad about this set. Build outstanding. Can't say anything bad about that. Just everything is in tune perfectly to build like the perfect mindset, in my opinion. Apart from a couple others, but still, this set is remarkable and it's just such a nostalgic set, really, and one that was definitely worth the wait for me. At number 5 is the Trash Compactor Escape from the 2010 line of Toy Story sets. I got this like I think that one of the reasons why I like this so much is because I got this at Zeller's, which, if you don't know, is like a famous Canadian store, and at least I don't know if it's the all the branches are still open. At least the one that was in my local mall, it's not open anymore. It hasn't been since like almost a decade at this point. But I got this like a year before it closed in like 2012, 2013. I got this like also bang before it retired, so that's also really good. But like the memories that I have from the set are just incredible. Like it doesn't get any better than that. The figures, like I remember like playing around with my Lotso and my Woody figures just a whole lot because they're just really good figures. You get the Porky, I believe, Doctor Evil, Doctor Porkchop, if you know, which has all these paint stains on it, but also has these gold coins in that you can actually insert, and there's like a little like cork that you can put on the bottom to prevent any unwanted spills of the money. Just really great figures, as well as the aliens, of course. But yeah, the build itself, the conveyor belt was like something that I really enjoyed building because it was my first of that kind. You also had the fiery pit, which had like a bunch of boxes in it as well, which, I mean, it's a primitive sort of build because it only had like a couple of flames in it. That's it. So it wasn't as intimidating as like the actual scene in the movie, which is enough to make a grown man cry. But overall, it's still a really good set, and the crane build is just like really neat, well rounded out as well. It's kind of surprising actually. And then you have like the whole sort of like dumpster thing that dumps the figures onto the conveyor belt. You have the sort of console which Lotso activates the conveyor belt with and abandons the toys with. It's uh, a really fantastic set based off of a fantastic scene in a fantastic movie, and definitely one that has a really special place in my heart. At number 4 in my favorite sets list is the LEGO Harry Potter Great Hall set from 2018. This is a set which had a very special building experience because I got this last year, like right before it retired. I swear to God, it was retired already in some stores, but I managed to get it, and I opened it up and I built it like 4 hours straight on stream. That was a lot of grinding. Um, so it was definitely a pretty fantastic experience because that's when I met a lot of my online friends, such as Agun A3, which I'm gonna link to that in the description below. And it was just such a great stream, and I met a lot of people, and the build itself is just fantastic. The whole process of building it and getting all the little details in it and seeing the build come together was just such a joy to experience, really. And the final product, I mean, I'm looking at it again right now because it's on my display shelves, but it's just fantastic. It's huge, it's big, not really bulky because it's just so elegant, so sleek. It's a fantastic set, and truly, I'd say even maybe a perfect Harry Potter set. I mean, there's pretty much nothing lacking from it, except for maybe a better tower, because it's a bit too chunky. But the Great Hall itself is just untouchable. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Maybe like all I would do is add like the sort of like I don't remember what the things are called. I'm sorry, I'm dumb. The things that keep track of the house points, as well as a better, house cup. But it's just still a fantastic, marvelous set, which just has so much going for it, and I just love it. I love the Harry Potter franchise, and I'm gonna love this set until the day I die because it's just such a lovely set. Entering the podium is the Lego Creator Hillside House set from 2011. Another 2011 Creator set, and another set that I got for my birthday in 2012. The other one was the mine. But this set is just such a special set to me. I mean, it just had so many memories associated to it. When I was building my aforementioned city, I not only used the police station and the toy and grocery shop, but this was like the centerpiece of it all. I mean, it's big. It's like it has the same dimensions as actually a modular building in terms of like the base. It's a 32 by 32 base. But this set is just, I feel like it would be more special than a modular building just because of how much it means to me. This set was really kind of what brought me into customizing my own builds and then eventually into mock building. So I owe a lot to this set. It's not like I owe it more things than my first set, but I still owe it a whole lot. And the build itself is just big, and it's simple, but it feels very homely, and it's simple, but I love it so much, and it just has a specific kind of charm to it that is just cannot be beat, in my opinion. It might be one of my favorite creator sets of all time, just because of how much it means to me and how cool it is. The shaping, the vast interior that was again customizable. I used to customize the heck out of it when I still had it completely built, of course. Rest in peace. Uh, but it's a beautiful set, and I have some beautiful memories attached to them from when I was still like in elementary and just playing around with it. Going back after a long day of school and just getting that set and playing around with it and playing around with my city. And I mean, it's just such a meaningful set to me, and I wouldn't change getting it like for anything, because I just love it so much. Alright, so this might be the single-handedly most surprising pick on this list, but at number 2 I have chosen the KST Assault set from 2012. This set was legitimately the most mind-blowing thing I'd ever seen as a child when it came out. I remember like first time seeing the ads for this wave of Ninjago sets for like season 1 and stuff. And I mean, of all the sets, this stood out the most to me just because of that camouflage feature. And I mean, it's just like a bunch of green bricks on the underside and like a loose cockpit that you can turn over. But that feature just absolutely blew like a 6-year-old me's mind. It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen in a Lego set before. And I just, after a year of like asking my parents to get it, on Christmas Day 2012, I finally got it, along with a couple other trinkets, but this was what stood out to me the most. And I just remember having such a fun time building this, and just so many good memories associated to them. It might even be my best memory of a Lego set that I've ever gotten, just because of how much I enjoyed it. And that like feature with like the flaps opening out, like, oh, everything's so cool in this set, and I just love it. I wish I still had it completely built, because now I only have like the skeleton essentially of it. And I did add my old boulder blaster to it to make like a sort of combo vehicle, but I mean, you cannot beat the original set unless Lego does a legacy version, which they need to. Like, for Christ's sakes, we need one. I need one. Most people do. And I don't know, I would just love to see it happen. But even if it doesn't, I'll still have the original set with like some great figures as well, and just a build that will always remind me of that special period in time when I was like completely engulfed in that set and a couple of others. And at number 1 on the list is the 8038 Battle of Endor set from the 2009 line of 10th anniversary LEGO Star Wars sets. This set just so special to me. this is a set that I got when I finished like kindergarten, I believe. This was like a day that a set that I got like a couple days after I finished school, and I just had the best time building it. And it's not even my biggest set up until like 2 weeks ago. It was then I got the Bad Batch shell, but oh well. This set is just, oh my god, oh my god, it is beautiful. I mean, it still may not be like the best compared to today's standards, but it just, in my heart, it'll always like be the best. And I mean the best. The memories I have with this set, and just the experience I had with it, building it, playing with it, everything is just so incredible to me, and I couldn't be any more thankful to have it in my collection than I am right now. I mean, it just has so many cool things, and let's just enumerate the builds. You have the catapult, which is really neat. The two speeder bikes, really great inclusion, and especially funny when you have like one of the three Ewoks in the set riding it. Yes, three Ewoks in one set. Not unheard of, but definitely pretty cool. And you also have like so many cool things. You have the Ewok glider with like these huge cloth pieces, which were a bit of a hassle to put on, but I love it. I also like love the ATST. Who could forget the ATST? Great. I mean, it's a bit scaled down compared to other models, but it's still fantastic build, and I used to play with that a lot. The like mechanism with like the legs sort of moving in that doesn't work when it's like displayed properly with feet bolted to the ground, but it's still a really neat addition to an overall really great looking ATST. And then you have, of course, who could forget the Endor bunker, only one of its kind in LEGO's history, which they should really remake for like 2023, 40th anniversary for Return of the Jedi. If they made like a $500, perhaps less, like remake of that set in like the UCS style, I would buy that day one, no question. Just because the set means so much to me, and just like it's so special. The figures, there's like 12 figures in this set, which is I think the most uh, out of any set in my collection, apart from one, which is the droid carrier from 2011. But just this set just means so much to me. It's such a special set, and it just has so many memories associated to it. It's just so many cool things in it, and just overall, it is the best set in my collection, or at least my favorite, by a mile. No way in hell that it can be beaten. It's just fantastic. And when I think about it, it does make me tear up a little bit, just because the set is just incredible. So anyways, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment down below actually, saying what your favorite pick of mine in this list is, and what your favorite set of all time is. I would be really interested to hear what you guys have to say. Anyways, please subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.